So we're just gonna jump into this tutorial really quick. I already started with her eyebrows done and prepped her lid to put on the shadow. I prepped it with the P. Louise base in number 1, I believe, or 3, one of those shades. And then I am applying Anastasia Beverly Hills shade from the Subculture palette on there with a Morphe brush. I'll link all of the products in the description bar below. But I'm just applying it on there with tapping motions and then going back in there with another brush. It's not very dense at all, but it's not fluffy at the same time. It's very thin, just to help blend out the edges so they're not as rough and patchy. And then I'm going on the lid with a e.l.f. Like flat brush and applying a dark brown shade from the Morphe Hit The Lights palette. It's like a cool tone brown, but it comes off as kind of gray with the crease color, so it made it look very smoky, and I really liked how it smoked out the look without having to use black. So I'm just doing the same thing on the other eye. Whenever I'm applying the shadows, I'm making sure that I'm not using a whole bunch of product, especially with the Anastasia Beverly Hills shadows. They're very pigmented, and sometimes you can put on too much product, so you want to make sure that you're using very little product at a time and blending before you go on to add another shade, because you never want it to look very blotchy or anything like that. And I'm going to do the same exact thing on the other eye. You guys can probably see what I'm doing a lot better on this eye since it is a little bit closer to the camera. So now I'm going to add Star Crush Minerals pigment into the tear duct areas to brighten up the eyes, since it is a smoky look. I'm not quite sure on the name of it, champagne something. I'll link it in the description bar, but I use it on literally everything. And then I'm gonna apply another Star Crush Minerals pigment. It's basically the same color as the shadows that I've been using, but it has like a little sheen to it. You probably can't tell on camera, but in person it adds a little bit of sparkle to it to kind of brighten it up. It's like a smoky bright kind of thing, I don't know. So now I'm gonna start doing the wing liner. I usually start from the middle and then work my way out and thicken it up to my liking for the look. I do plan on doing a full like wing tutorial for you guys on how I do my wing liner on my clients, so I'm not really gonna go too into detail in this video, but just be on the lookout for that one in the near future. So on top of the wing liner, I'm going to add some duo lash glue. It's going to help stick the glitter onto the liner without making it change colors or anything like that because it dries down clear. I use this for all glitter applications. So on the lid, on glitter liners, under the eye, all things like that, I use the dual lash glue and it works amazingly. I'm also going to use the lash glue to apply the lashes that I'm going to use on her. This is just going to make sure that I don't get like any glue to cover up the liner since it does dry down clear. If I'm just doing a traditional black winged liner, then I typically use my regular lash glue that is black, but for the sake of this video and the look, I'm using the dual lash glue and it works just as good. It's just based off my preference. So I'm just wiping off any fallout from on her face using a witch hazel pad. I use this to prep the skin, even though I already prepped her skin prior to this. But now I'm going to apply the milk of magnesia on her face. She does get oily skin, so this works really well on mattifying the skin. It is, however, not for everyday use. So if you plan on doing your own makeup, do not use this every day. It's not good for your skin long term. But my camera ended up dying, so I didn't get to film the foundation routine. But I did use Bakerie foundation, and for the concealer, I'm using LA Girl Pro Concealer in the color Fawn. I love my LA Girl Pro concealers. I feel like they work the best, very easy to blend. And I'm just applying that to all of her highlighted areas. And then I'm going to use the black Opal. I want to say this is in it's not ebony. I don't remember what it is. I don't remember. But I'll link it in the description box. And then I'm going to use a Real Techniques setting brush. I use this to always blend out my concealers. No matter what, I use that every single time. And I always get this flawless blend. I do go over it with a beauty blender, as you guys will see. But to get that initial flawless blend, that Real Techniques setting brush is a must-have on anybody's makeup list. Then to blend out the contour, I'm going to use the Real Techniques Instapop Cheek Brush. I use this for face, for the foundation. I use it for the contour. You can use it on the whole face, even though it says for the cheek area. I really like it a lot better than the Instapot face because it's a little bit too big for me. But I usually go back and forth between the Real Technique setting brush and the cheek brush just to get that blend. And then to kind of melt everything together, I'm going to go in with the Beauty Blender. And then I blend up the nose contour using a smaller brush. It's like an angle brush, so I can really get that blend that I really want, and then go back down the center of the nose to make sure it doesn't get too dark, and just keep blending until I get the look that I want for that nose to get snatched, you know. Then it's really all about blending. You want everything to blend like really good before you set. So I'm just going through and I'm blending the concealers and the contours together. So on her, I'm using a combination of the Morphe Rich Banana Translucent Powder and the Morphe, I want to say it's just the Rich powder, but I mixed those two together, and then I'm just applying it in all the areas that I had highlighted. And then around the nose, I'm making sure that I'm really like keeping a straight line and really pinching it so her nose contour look really snatched, you know. And then I just leave that on there to bake while I do the under eyes. I'm just adding some black liner. I like to do the under eyes or apply lashes, do something in between to let it set, so you don't have to worry about any type of ashiness or anything like that, or anything falling off. Like, your makeup will be good for the whole night, you know. And doing the under eyes during this time, I used to have a lot of issues with the under eyes, applying the like shadows and things underneath there. They wouldn't look how I wanted them to, but it's a lot easier doing it whenever you're setting. So now I'm just taking off all of that excess powder after I have, you know, finished setting her face for as long as I deem fit. And then after I'm done taking off all the excess, I'm going to go in with a beauty blender that was sprayed down with like rose water. This is just like rose water setting powder, like the Mario Badescu rose water. And I just blend the entire face. This is going to be so important when it comes to getting rid of any flashback. If you do this step, you will never have to worry about doing or having any flashback ever in your makeup. Like, it will never be an issue for you. Since I've added this to like my routines, I've never had an issue with any type of flashback. So now I'm going to use the Juvia's Place highlighter. This is in Nubia. I love their highlighters. I'm going to highlight her cheeks, above the lips, the chin, and her nose. And then I'm going to blend that down with a beauty blender. And then I'm just going to do her lips. It's a real simple lip. I'm just doing the doing a brown lip liner and then applying some gloss over it. I think I used the Morphe lip gloss in the color, I want to say boho or flower crown. I'm not really sure. Whatever products I use, it will be linked in the description below. So don't quote me on anything in the video, but I know I use the Morphe gloss because that's like my go-to. And that's really it for this look. It's real simple. It's not really hard to do. I feel like it's pretty beginner friendly. Let me know how you guys liked it, what kind of looks you guys would like me to show you guys on my clients. And I hope you guys like this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.